Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I have just finished the new Endgame mode in Zenless Zone 0 and I would like to share my first impressions and thoughts regarding this mode. All of the good stuff and also the concerns, bad stuff as well, of course. Personally, I did enjoy this mode a lot. For those who don't know, this mode has two difficulties, an easy mode and a hard mode. The easy mode specifically also allows you to use trial characters, so you can actually use trial characters in here, which is cool, it's fine. I definitely like that. However, for hard mode, unfortunately, you cannot use trial characters. It is what it is. But let's go over first the good stuff. The good stuff regarding this mode is that you do have a lot of options what to choose with your buffs against the enemies. So you have like 4 buffs to choose, plenty of coverage, different boss fights. So lots of your characters will get to shine. And I personally like that quite a lot because a lot of forgotten characters like Caesar or even Harumasa, Zuyuans, you actually get to use them again. Because in this new endgame mode, you also have optional battles, and these optional battles do not really have the timer, well, not in the same way as the other fights. You actually have a 10-minute timer, and you just have to finish the fight within 10 minutes. The enemies can hit hard, and you kind of have to focus perhaps more on survivability, and that's where Caesar, for example, comes in handy. But also, you can use weaker, older characters, win the fight within 10 minutes, and get this extra scoring, which will help you for the final battle. So also, if you don't know how these fights work, effectively, you will go through the story, like intro story, and this story thing will help you also decide what's gonna be the final boss lineup of enemies that you will fight. You can also choose this at a later time, like change the route and get something else. But the point is, between these story segments, which is just like text, it's very quickly, nothing special, you will have these fights, right? And the first battle requires 2 required teams and 1 optional team, which means you have to use 2 teams at least, plus a 3rd team for the final fight of this stage 1. I do recommend doing optional fights because you will get extra points. It does help a lot. You'll get an increased score multiplier, so that's that. And then as you progress through the stages, as you can see, 2 teams required, 3rd optional, and then when you reach battle stage 3, now it requires 3 teams, plus here is the 4th one, of course, so an extra. And when you reach the last node, it's gonna be effectively 4 teams needed in total, plus the optional, which I would recommend to do. And as you already noticed, this mode does require a lot of characters, and not just any random characters, because you kind of want to play around mechanics. For example, Bringer is back, and if you have Miyabi, you will definitely want to use, for example, Miyabi in that fight. However, I believe these optional stages can help you quite a lot with getting like this bonus score multiplier, which potentially makes it easier. But as a veteran, for me, it's very fun, this mode. I've been enjoying it a lot, simply because I do have a lot of characters built. As a regular active player, I'm also not free to play, so I do have options to pick, mix and match, and also get to play things I didn't play before. I personally like this a lot. However, the biggest problem will be for people who are not, let's say, an active regular player. You're perhaps like a returning player, free to play, and you don't have so many characters built. You won't be able to do this comfortably at all, because unfortunately trial characters are not available within this mode. And if I forgot to mention, this mode also does reset. You do have rankings and all of that stuff as well, just as a heads up. It does say time remaining more than 42 days. I'm not sure if this is gonna regularly reset or it's like a one-time thing, okay? Because I remember there was a mode back in the day in ZZZ called Ambush Point, Ambush Node, whatever it was called. It also had like a time remaining 30 days, whatever, but it never came back. So I don't know if it's guaranteed that this will be a resettable thing. If this is a resettable mode, it can be quite taxing for people who don't keep up or pulling a lot of building characters. And also, newer players will take longer to build the roster, to have lots of these units to be able to do this mode. Similar to what you have in, I guess, Genshin Impact Imaginum Theater. It also probably takes a while there for newer players to do it compared to other modes. Like, obviously, Deadly Assault, Shield Defense doesn't need as many characters. So, as a newer player, you're able to do that way earlier than this one. And speaking of the rewards are, I believe, 600 gems. Whether this resets I do not know. I'm not certain, but it does say it's 42 days when this goes away. So a lot of us are assuming it's gonna reset. There's also an ultimate reward, a name card. You would have to get 400,000 points, it says. You don't see it because my camera blocks it. I have 317k in total, and I'm not a free-to-play. Yeah, well, I was looking at the wrong thing, but doesn't matter. The point is, you have to be quite more invested, or I guess more sweaty player to be able to do it. But I generally believe this is kind of achievable, probably as a low spender, dolphin, whatever. Maybe even a free-to-play who happens to have like the right tools or whatever. You probably could do it potentially, but it's not, how to put it, like it's not like, oh, I have to be straight up whale only type of thing. So unlike Anomaly Arbitration in HSR or Stygian Onslaught, technically you can get this even as a non-whale, the profile picture that is. Or actually, the name card, excuse me guys. Yeah, it's the name card, whatever. Same thing anyway. I believe a lot of us don't care about that stuff, as long as they don't put more significant type of rewards behind it, such as skins or something like that. But yeah, also regarding this mode, what I personally find fun is the potential of this mode as they expand it with like more enemy lineups and so on. And it also would kind of guarantee that your older characters will always kind of have like a spot to shine or a place to use them, right? Because you have so many different fights here, so varied fights, where it's like this is more for Anomaly, this is more for Rapture, attackers, and also the weaknesses, and all kinds of characters actually get to be used. Because if you play Deadly Assault, Shield Defense, a lot of stuff there is basically, you know, flavor of the month, right? Here, I don't think they can pull flavor of the month stuff because there's simply so many bosses, right? There has to be like enough variety. Even if they didn't want it to do it, it kinda has to be, simply because there's so many bosses that ends up like pretty much having like the entire roster almost of enemies. So there's always something to fight against that you will be able to use your favorite characters with, even your Harumasa, Caesars, and so on. But yeah, guys, I would like to know personally, what do you guys think about this mode? Do you like it? Is it up to your liking? For me, it's very fun. As a veteran player, I do enjoy it, but it's not something that I would keep replaying until I get a new reset. The new reset, if it happens, might be like patch per patch basis, and personally, for me, that's a bit too slow, because I would definitely like to see a newer lineup of characters to be able to use against newer bosses whenever they add it, if they assume they updated this. And also, as a fun thingy, they actually let you play Yidhari within this mode as well. As you can see here, you can actually pick her up as a trial character, and that's kind of cool. And I genuinely wish they added this trial option, even if in a limited form, like perhaps with charges or whatever, you know, as long as you have it in hard mode. I believe this would be the easiest fix for many players, that you would easily have like more options to play with, maybe even friend list or something to be able to use friends characters. But maybe Hoyo doesn't want people to abuse friends with M6 characters or something like that, I guess, right? But yeah, do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this mode. Personally, I like it. I do see some concerns that, like, if this keeps resetting, they could up the difficulty, and even people who have like a larger roster of characters might be kind of like, you know, forced to pull more or something for having right characters, right? However, the optional thing as of right now, I think it does carry the mode heavily, because it's 10-minute fights. Just survive, win within 10 minutes. You definitely should have more than enough damage, and this can help you a lot with the bonus points, right? So we'll see how they cook with this, and I think this mode has very great potential if they keep resetting it. It does have a ranking. That's why we're kind of like, a lot of us are assuming that's why it's probably gonna reset. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. As always, if you liked it, feel free to give it a like and all that stuff. I wish you a wonderful day, guys, and see you in the next video. Ciao.